Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. Um, I actually have something here for us. Um, this is about a debate that Cliffton Powell was at, and shout out to MTR on YouTube for this. With that being said, let's get into it.
As I said, listen, I said 60s and 70s. Let me say this. Don't overtalk me. I'm not fucking overtalk you. I'm good, but you're not going to disrespect me.
This dude has no self control.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
This young dude has no self control.
The content that I have for you guys here today is utterly complexing. All right. Now, the title of the video is Black Men Trust Black Women. Now, this is a roundtable discussion, but I like to describe what it is that they're doing as Knights of the Panderers table. Okay? It's a panderer convention, right? It's Victim Olympics on steroids, and there's literally so many terrible parts within the confines of like this 2-hour podcast, this 2-hour conversation. I cannot go through it all right? Perhaps I should have had a live stream because there's so much in here to dissect, and it's really complicated of a topic, especially when there's different people commenting on different things, but the majority of the talking points amalgamate up to victimhood. It amalgamates up to victim-loving black men touting black female superiority while also, in a pathetic way, downgrading their own manhood, downgrading their own masculinity for fear of upholding this not.
Translation: LTM males. That's basically what this roundtable is going to be. It's going to be a bunch of soft beta males.
Existent patriarchy that they keep on exclaiming from the mountaintops as if it is something that people are dealing with today. So the actual content is shit, but it's also, because it's, pandering, it's also not meant for me. It's not meant for us, right? It's in a completely different component of the content internet. So, which actually
it is
content for me to go over because there's so much within this that I'm just like, what's going on here? Listening to these men speak like this, not only is it wildly pathetic, but also it drops my testosterone down dozens of points. So I'll leave a link to it down in the description box down below in case y'all are masochist, right? But I will never, for the life of me, understand the genre of content that for it to be consumable on the other side of the internet, it must always place men in a suboptimal position or a subservient position, while also pandering to women in such a way that you are classifying them as superior than. As a content product, I guess it makes sense, right, to pander or to placate to an audience. But from a solution-based perspective, listening to these men talk like this does
it's
nothing
sad.
to set us back. So anyway, we're going to start off in an odd portion of the conversation where actor Clifton Powell is having a passionate conversation with a man in regards to being a 70-year-old man and not understanding how to move correctly previously in life. So let's get active there because that portion actually is going viral right now. Without further ado, a little bit of extra context. This is like 50 minutes into the conversation. And by this point, everybody is just agreeing like men are the enemy. There's a patriarchy, right? We're taking and stripping rights away from women, right? We're keeping women down, right? Like all of these, it's just so pathetic. Meanwhile,
typical beta males.
70 years old. He looks great for 70. But the man that he's about to get in a dust-up with is a gay black man. Just extra context for the conversation, but let's go.
I think everybody is right because there's so many levels to this.
Mm-hmm.
But most of this was laid on our parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915, and his parents were slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. So what I've learned is it's not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, I'll be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate black women. I live with her.
I gotta pause this for a second. First off, if I'm invited to a round table where masculinity is the topic of conversation, there ain't no way I'm gonna be in a room with gay men and try to talk masculinity. Gay men and masculinity do not line up because their brain is gonna be wired to think like a woman. It's a pointless conversation. Let's continue.
I recently found out a non-irritating retinoid exists. More people need to know about this. I'm a professional makeup artist.
Psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. But in closing on this, because I don't want to get too deep,
Okay.
I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad.
Why?
I'm fucking up.
What age did you become monogamous?
Today.
Okay.
No, but let me just say what it is.
No.
We don't talk about this. We don't talk about dopamine being in a pleasant center of the brain like we talked about. About oxytocin is the hormone. It's called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we're just talking in generality.
Okay, this whole conversation is getting weird.
Because a counselor is going to get inside of this from a real, not even white people perspective, just from a scientific perspective, unless science is not wrong and the brain is not bad with his. So when I hurt my girl, which I've done over and over, and I commend her for even being with me.
I find this whole conversation a little bit weird, but let's keep going.
And I said it in my podcast, and I'm going to say this and stop. I called one of my partners who was brilliant. He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, the people that raised us, those men who treated
He don't like what he's saying.
women outside the house nice, but then put the thumb on the grandmama and put the thumb on the girlfriend or whoever.
Okay.
They are all. It all comes from out of all of that, and I think that's what makes me excited. If we're going to bring the women and the uncles and we need to bring them all in. We're going.
All right. Just before they go in, quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal.
Accountability, like, yes, we can talk about, what our families did to us, all this, all that, but eventually, and I know white people try to say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know what
Spoken like a beta male.
go. So it's like, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired, and, kind of to them, like, hey, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, some people have talked about, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how.
Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this because another thing that happened.
Lord. This dude right here ain't trying to listen to nobody with his T-Mill half bunny looking ass.
Is too. You live.
I'll be right back.
And I'm not meaning no disrespect by that.
Just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me. And that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Right the fuck now.
As I said, I said 60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Don't overtalk.
I'm gonna fucking overtalk you.
I'm
because
good,
you're talking out
but
of
you're
line.
not gonna disrespect
You don't know
me.
what the
Oh, I am.
I just
I
know
do.
what love is.
I do.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Oh, I know. You can't. I know. I don't know it. I do. I'm good. You don't know what the fuck I'm living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but he's generalized. You can't. Listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro.
Okay.
You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loved all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we all so fucked up right now.
Okay, I want to let that play out just so you guys have context at the back of the point. Now, while I agree with the majority of the points that came from the man that challenged Clifton, I don't agree that he got it became a sassy conversation, right? He got his emotions involved.
Yeah.
And began to overtalk. I don't agree that is a correct way to try to address somebody that is talking about their lived experience. Because Clifton is just talking about the way that he has experienced the world. I can identify as an observer, hey, bro, you can snap the chalk at whatever point that you want within your life, and you don't have to wait for anybody else, a mentor, right? Like the world owes you no favors. What if that person never comes along? As a man, it is incumbent for you to be able to figure it out on your own.
Exactly.
On the type of life or lifestyle that you want within your life. But at the same juncture, it wasn't beneficial for the guy to be yelling at him within the conversation, and that's why Clifton then began to check him back. But let's listen a little bit more.
You asked, how do we love black women?
Yeah.
That's right.
I think I'm ready to get bangs. I saved enough to take my mom on a cruise. What's all this?
It's almost more really like to celebrate what the customers say. Check this out. Oh.
Trust black women and listen to black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I don't think that's true either. There's a lot of black women who don't know how to love.
I'm not talking about what they know how to love. I'm saying what they need as far as the
I get that.
That's what we're talking about right now. Also, if we're going to use our privilege and power as men in society, how do we show up and be accountable? Like you said, the way to be accountable is to dismantle patriarchy. Because patriarchy makes it so that men have the power and women do not.
But you can't get there unless you listen to them. And you may not agree. We gotta go to therapy. I should be in therapy right now. My girl should be in therapy. We all come from generations and generations, and you can't motherfucker sit here and tell me what I'm going through at 70. I just realized, but listen what I'm saying. No, let's be good, bro. It's not gonna get out of control. This is real shit. Bro, this is real shit. I'm telling you, you can't love a queen. Some of these girls out here in Queens because their daddy wasn't there. If your daddy ain't there from 12 to 25, you going down a rabbit hole. Promiscuity, drugs. Gotta read more.
Yeah, he right on that one.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm living it. Until you meet a real motherfucking queen who had to figure out her trauma, you can't even learn how to love a black woman.
So here's one thing.
That's what we gotta stop.
Clifton is both the low light and the high light of this entire conversation.
One thing with because I think I agree that you can't wait until you
gotta hold yourself accountable. So if you figure it out, if you figure it out, bro.
But you gotta let other people talk. Hold on.
That's why I can't.
The arguments are important. This is how black men talk. The energy is. I want to make sure. This is what I want to make sure we're framing properly because at a lot of the time we think because you're talking about your privilege and your power and how you use it. A lot of time we've been taught our power is how we control the situation, and we try to control that situation by dominating it, by shutting other people down, by overpowering them. And I think that is something that
Tap the screen, please. Please tap the screen.
That's not the best. It's not the only way. It's not the only way to live, and it's not not just men or women. It's literally there are other ways to be, and so
Right.
some people value monogamy more. That doesn't mean that you have sin and you dead and you evil if you haven't been. But the problem is, most of the time, the way that we're living is by telling somebody that we are monogamous when we're not.
But
hold on. That's lying.
But listen, hold on, bro.
So that's dishonest.
We can't talk about monogamy. No, we gotta talk about
you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Hold on.
Men are not. First of all, this is not our culture.
Ain't nobody listening whatsoever. Ain't nobody listening.
Africa is polygamy.
No.
It's not monogamous biological, is it?
Some people do believe that monogamy is the most healthy.
97% of married men cheat, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean,
85% of married men cheat. Nobody is being monogamous.
To lie. And we also
I'm just saying what the facts
that is control. I think there are other perspectives here that are valuable in holding that stuff accountable, because we were talking about how to hold each other accountable in this, right? In talking about trusting black women and loving black women, how do we hold each other accountable in that? How do we make promises that we can keep? How do we say that, make sure that we're surrounding each other with people who are going to check us when we're wrong, right? And how do we know that who knows what's right and what's wrong in that, right?
I think it's
even when I read, a lot of the time what we read is wrong. A lot of the time the books that they give us to educate ourselves are wrong. So I do want to hear more perspectives on literally how to hold ourselves accountable in that. How do we're talking about trusting black women, how do we trust black women, right? You know what I'm saying? And what is that trust accountable to? Sure. What books, because a lot of the books that we're given in school are lies that tell us the opposite of how to trust black women. That tell us the opposite of how to hold each other accountable and make sure that we understand what is right and wrong and what each other's perspectives are. So I love the energy of, I'm not afraid of the argument. I'm not afraid of the fight. But it does have to be. But I do want to make sure that we take it to a place where we come out here more powerful than we did when we came.
I think we got to listen to
Well, that's not going to happen, because the definition of walking out with more power here is not talking about women from a place of what they've fought for, equality, but it's talking about them from a position of superiority. Also, it's very interesting to me that within a conversation that mostly focuses in like heterosexual relationships, not only do you have non-black men here, but then you also have what appears to be multiple gay men speaking at the same table. Well, I do think that it's okay that everybody should have an opinion. I do think that the weight of those opinions should be focused more on those that are black and that practice heterosexuality. If this was a conversation about black homosexuality, and as a black heterosexual man, I was invited in to speak on my opinion on the disjointment of like the black man and the black man, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not a lived experience, baby. Nevertheless, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. Even though this is supposed to be a table of men, I right now feel like I'm watching The View. It feels like I'm looking at a table of cackling hens. It's fucking embarrassing. I'll be back in a minute. This is embarrassing.
And it starts with black people don't like to go to counseling. They need to go to fucking therapy. That's it.
Jay brought that up, and I agree that we must talk, but I do also understand the value in us talking.
Great stories are built on yes and. Yes opens the door. Yes and opens the world. With the new Millionaire for Life draw game, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning.
Quick, choose a meal deal with McValue. The $5 McChicken meal deal, the $6 McDouble meal deal, or the new $7 Daily Double meal deal. Each with its own small fries, drink, and 4-piece McNuggets. There's actually no rush. I'm just excited for McDonald's. For limited time only, participation may vary. Not valid for delivery.
our perspective.
We got that part. But how do we find a solution?
Well, the only thing is we're not gonna get to a solution because there is still something on the table. There's still something on the table, and we gotta.
What's on the table?
Your point of view, no, his point of view.
What's on the table to me is how do we as black men?
You said listen and lose.
No, man, I'm just interjecting, bro. Y'all said interject.
Well, interject.
Listen,
Has Clifton been
how do
drinking?
we help black women? I'm telling you.
Well, first we gotta help ourselves.
Right.
We can't go to no black women if we can't figure out.
Right.
If we can't figure out what love really means, what love looks like to us, what love has been to us, what have we been taught about
love? We come from generations of no love.
Right. But does patriarchy come with accountability?
No, I think the definition of patriarchy is when we have systems of domination for men. Right now, I think we're not doing a good job of naming the system that literally incentivizes us to be on some fuck shit, or it incentivizes us to always want to be dominated in power. Yes. I think in our conversation right now as black people, a lot of times when you hear the word patriarchy, you think about the word patriarchy and think about how we're taught in Christianity to be patriarchs. So a lot of us have a hard time thinking about leadership and thinking about how that leadership comes out in fucked up ways. I.e., I want to be a patriarch like Father Abraham, therefore patriarchy is good. Patriarchy is not good. The system of domination for women is not good. But a lot of us buy into that.
So I got a question I want to ask you.
What's your question?
What is the system of domination? We currently live in way more of an egalitarian society than what this clown bozo, woman panderer would ever want to admit. These are single mother raised young men that cannot but tout the I'm a victim power play. Please help me understand, what are the systems that are currently at play? The systems of men dominating women. Does it show up in the homelessness rate? Does it show up in the male self-deletion rate? Is it showing up in who is the most college educated rate? Is it showing up in who is the most federally funded for education rate? Does it show up anywhere within the family court system? Does it show up anywhere within the world's deadliest jobs, right? Are you fighting for equality, for female representation within the army, within the police department, within the fire station, on the ships, the ice road truckers, for construction, right? Like, where exactly is this system of domination and how is it being represented? Or is it displayed when black conscious content creators defend women who falsely accuse men of violence against them?
The fact y'all still lying on this woman blows my mind. Do y'all think a falsified government document would be circulated on the internet and this woman not be taken to jail?
A few months later,
article itself states that she was assaulted, but that she allegedly lied about how she was assaulted. So for the people in the back, the reason why she's being charged with fraud is because law enforcement is saying, no, you were assaulted, but you lied about how you said you was assaulted, therefore all the money you raised is fraud.
I read that article, by the way, and he conveniently left out the part where Brick Lady pretty much changed her entire story multiple times during the investigation.
He told the detective that responded that she was hit in the head with a brick after she refused to give her phone number to a guy on the street.
And was that verified by any of the evidence that detectives looked at?
No, that was not verified.
Harris County prosecutor Keith Houston says surveillance videos from that early September morning show Osmond hitting a man first.
So she's the one she was the aggressor?
She was the aggressor, yeah.
And it was a water bottle that hit her, not a brick?
He did have a water bottle in his hand, and we think that's what left the mark. Thornton verified with Minneapolis police that there was no assault done at that time. It was completely fictional.
He also conveniently left out the fact that a plastic bottle can't leave that kind of damage behind, well, unless it has like cement or ice in it. But I'm not really here to dunk on, bro. That would be too easy. That's not my style. In fact, as surprising as this may be to some, I actually feel a great deal of pity for him. Y'all know me. I've been through my fair share of controversy in the past, right? And let's be honest, the kind of person I am, it's definitely going to happen again. In a world full of lies, telling the truth is considered crazy. Shout out to Kanye. But I can take a really good guess at what's going through his mind right now. And I gotta say, I'm not too sure he can handle mentally what's coming out. Because it's very different if you actually believe in what you're getting crucified by the public for saying. I know for me personally, that's how I felt about every single controversy I've ever been through. I believe in the shit I'm talking about. But it's very clear to me that this guy does not believe in what he's saying. He's just saying it to save face. And that's why I feel so sorry for him, because he's painted himself in a corner he can't get out of. He really just has to ride this thing until the wheels fall off and hope for the best. Moral of the story, if you're gonna say something in public that people will come at you for, the least you can do is actually believe in it. Take it from me.
The these single mother raised men who go to these black liberal institutions where they've been taught that they are lesser than and that they don't deserve anything are a cancer to young men within society. And their grifting is doing way more damage than what they even realize. And I do think that the majority of their idiocy is due to not only in order to achieve that bag, but what does not only a patriarchal regime actually look like, but a failed one?
You're very educated. I mean, I keep learning every day, you know. North Carolina, welcome from North Carolina. So glad to have all of us here. Thank you so much, Kylie. Appreciate so much. Guys, we also appreciate all the support, by the way. For those who are supporting, we don't take that for granted. That's the sad reality. I grew in these conditions. Actually, there's many people who've grown in these kind of conditions. This is the sad reality. Hello from the UK. Welcome from the UK. So glad to have all of us. Thank you so much, Fantic. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody.
Excuse me.
I'm very humble and honest. Yeah, for me, I'm always humble and honest, you know. Those are the two qualities that I've always been living with. Welcome from Australia. Welcome from
I woke up this morning and this live stream popped up as I was checking my TikTok. How blessed that we all are to have not been raised in no shit like this. These people don't have a chance, and they more than likely will never have a chance. For the governments are too
Thank
corrupt.
you.
Their culture and their society is forever ruined.
Tap the screen, please.
The U.S. ain't perfect. Abject poverty created by a corrupt patriarchy would be more fit for your conversation, not the soft, cushy, egalitarian-ass shit that currently exists in the West. It will never cease to amaze me. Millionaires speaking as if they are poor, as if they've been forever held back in society. This is what being held back actually looks like.
Unlearn that. I think we unlearn that by listening to what he's saying. About what specifically? Therapy. So we can go understand all of it.
Listen, I want to be clear. Right now, we're talking about a system of power. Right. So if you think interpersonally going to...
Oh, is that consciously? Hold on. I know good and well that's not consciously. The same consciously who tried to defend Rhoda Osmond, even though everybody else around him proved that Rhoda Osmond was lying, but yet consciously was so much behind Rhoda Osmond that he allegedly threatened to sue Daphne Sutton, aka the Queen of Accountability, for telling the damn truth. As far as I'm concerned, consciously, fuck you.
The system of power, no. I don't say this. That's what we get at. Right now, we're talking about trusting black women. There's a system, I'm saying, that goes against you. Aspect to it. Right. Yes. I'm not. Don't go no white therapy.
No, but hold on. If we're talking about therapy, let's talk about therapy. This is therapy. Yes. Yeah. This is
tap the screen, please. Please tap the screen.
Different ages, different experiences. Us. It's gonna be ugly. It's not gonna be cute. We ain't professional therapists enough, but we are listening. Okay, hold on. And I think that's the point where we gotta stay there. Right here is just listen. Stay there. Listen and find and wait for it. Cause sometimes it's just the listening. I think that's the whole part of this whole thing. Cause we don't listen because we live in this space of feeling like we know everything. And we are not the smartest people in the room.
Yeah. So then who is? Matter of fact, you know what I was listening to this morning?
I feel like as a man, whenever you go out, you should have a baddie budget. Something happened last night, and I was like, this should be shame. Me and my friends, we're at a table, we're having a good time, but we need water at a certain point, and we don't have water, so I take it upon myself to go to the bar.
You're thirsty.
And order 4 or 5 waters. Okay. There's a man trying to talk to me, and I was like, okay, amazing. I'm trying to order this water right now. He says, I'll take care of it. I said, okay, it's me and it's my friends. I said, it's 4 waters. He's like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, do not talk to me again today. Because you don't have $47. Yes, that's expensive.
And bitch, you can go fuck yourself.
Trying to understand. However, that's not the point. You don't have $47 spare for a baddie. go back inside immediately and don't come back out until you get some more money.
What?
Not playing. Don't come outside as a man without a baddie budget, without spare money to buy a baddie a drink, to buy a baddie some water.
Chick, you can kiss my black ass.
That don't make no sense. Where they do that at?
Is this the type that y'all are talking about that we need to listen to? Straight up threes talking about baddie budgets. What? $47 to get you and your homegirl some H2O. Now, this mindset and the derivatives of it are way more present within modern dating as it exists today amongst black women. However, they never talk about these ones that ruin it for the rest of them. These are the same women that will exclaim that they don't receive protection from black men. Meanwhile, you just utilize black men as an ATM, right? As your personal piggy bank.
Talk about MTR.
And so when we go, so like when Trust, I'm gonna say something. Tressie, like, oh Lord, Tressie Cottle, credible writer, sociologist. She says we are smarter when we listen to black women, not because all black women are right, because all black women deserve to be heard, right? And when we're so caught up in the process of listening is love.
This whole thing has been an LTM conversation. Low testosterone male conversation. Not only that, but this conversation is also borderline backdooria.
That's how we love black women, by listening to them, right? Okay. And again, everything they said isn't necessarily right, but they do deserve to be heard.
So let me address that before.
Let me finish, back it up. In doing so, we can help dismantle patriarchy because we're leading. Hold on, let me finish.
What?
We're leading with listening.
Shut up!
And if we
yo, these betas, yo.
What the fuck is this beta cuck talking about? You beta pussy ass bitch. The fuck is you talking about? Oh man. Manhood is under attack. Fellas, if you have children, for the love of God, stay in their lives, please. Please stay in their lives. Otherwise, they're gonna be bitch made like these dudes here.
That means we're not listening so that we can respond. We're listening so we're just listening to understand, which means you might have to ask another question. If you speak, it is to ask another question, not censor yourself, so you can get
oh my God
from the source.
And so what? I'm sorry, I might have to end this soon because I can't take this shit no more. The amount of weakness, the pathetic beta boy behavior here is it's obscene to me. It's obscene to me.
Just sad.
The conversation in let me calm back down. Anchor the conversation in watching a failed society. Also anchor in the conversation that there's so many of them that also speak like that spoiled asking for $50 worth of water to talk to her. How can you currently anchor these thoughts in listen to all when we just listen to her? We listen to the damage, the trauma, and the hurt that she comes from, treating men like nothing but pieces of green paper, knowing that she has had every opportunity. She's had the government funding behind her to create whoever it is that she wants to do, wear her hair however she wants to, make up her face however she wants to, get all the tattoos that she wants to. She has the ultimate freedom in this world, up to the freedom of disrespecting the same men that y'all claim systematic oppression from. This is not what oppression from men looks like. I'm sorry, they fed y'all the pill of denigrating who you are as a man, and y'all ate it hook, line, and beta sinker for the men that watch this content and for decades have been watched this sullying of who you are as a man, and you're made to believe that you should be lesser than in order to help the opposite side grow, even though in reality you're watching equality across the board. Please just ignore these dudes with every fiber of your soul. And I'll tell you guys what, like during my educational pursuits, during my corporate 9-to-5 pursuits, right? Whether it be in corporate activity or whether it be in like discussion nights and shit like that. I used to sit in conversations like this and look around at the tail in between men speak like this in these conversations. And I always used to think like, why don't I agree with, is there something wrong with me that I don't agree with their complete refusal of objective reality? They just talk from this position of being lesser than, fed through this faux idea that women are currently inferior or treated inferior in their society today. And it saddens me because these are the men who don't stand on business. They get tricked into relationships with these demon serpent women. And then these are also the men that get taken to the cleaners because they believed all of the bullshit that is coming out of their mouths. Please, men, save yourselves.
Really quick with that patriarchy, because we keep saying patriarchy, and you were saying without centering yourself, and I think that that's really important. Because I wouldn't know. I'll just be real. If me being, young living in the street, I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't say young.
When I was, I'm not saying now. I understand what it is now, but I'm saying when I was, I wouldn't hear somebody talk about dismantling patriarchy and be even attracted to the conversation or even know what that means, right? And so when I would like you to go a little bit deeper into what does that even mean? Because for me, the way I'm thinking about it is the way that we've been taught wrong about our power. Yes. That we are supposed to, that we have some sort of privilege in some situations, that we have a little bit more power than somebody else, and that we abuse that power. We use that power to try to control the situation in our favor when we should be listening to other people, when we should be honoring their existence and centering their freedom, their liberation. You know what I'm saying? So what their experience. So what does that mean to y'all? What does that even mean to dismantle patriarchy? What is that? Why is it harmful? And I'm not putting that necessarily on you, but whoever wants to. What does that mean? Yeah.
So when someone comes to you and they already know what you possess as a person, like for example, like a lot of doctors. Once I feel like a lot of black men get higher education, a lot of people want to get treated like a bitch. That's the truth. Like more accolades. Like
what?
Like a bitch. Like you want, like, oh, like take care of me. Yes, take care of me. Like, or like, oh,
what?
I'm the prize. I'm the prize.
You're talking about when you become rich and famous.
You don't even got to be rich and famous. It could be you going like for 12 years in academia.
I'm trying to understand you.
What?
I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't. These men are embarrassments. They are. I'm sorry. These are embarrassments. Bye. Bye.